Thank you very much for those very, very kind words, warm words. Good morning to everybody. Respected Professor Shamika Raviji, Professor Rama, and other colleagues from this very beautiful college, I think. I like it. When I was a student, I always dreamt of being here, coming, either studying or teaching. That never happened, but in a way, my dream has now been fulfilled of coming here a couple of times. This is a special lecture series, as you know, for which you have been all asked to come and listen to one of the finest minds, a formidable person in number crunching, finance, management, Professor Shamika Ravi. So we have come to listen to her. I know next to nothing about finance except the monthly salary that I get. And let me admit that I don't even manage that. Blissfully, my wife takes care of it. I have no access to my account through internet. So that is something that I'm far away. But yes, I am always concerned how much money there will be. Let me begin by introducing not her, because I am not qualified to introduce her. She has been a graduate of this university, and then for many years, over a decade I believe, she was a senior research fellow and whatever you have in the Brookings Institute of Washington DC, as you know, that is the last place that every person in the finance and other person would dream to be in. And then of course she came back and she has been roped in recently, last year or early this year, in the very high-powered Economic Advisory Committee of the Prime Minister, where she, of course, juggles her brain with other brainy people. So she is here to tell us, talk to us in through this series. This series, let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the ICSSR's Dream Series of Distinguished Lectures. That is the objective of this series. This is fourth or fifth lecture around the country. It is happening. We have planned around 50 lectures in many, many colleges across the country. We selectively, along with the Member Secretary of the Indian Council of Social Science Research, Professor Dhananjay Singh, my dear friend, again a colleague in JNU, sat down and discussed. And we tried to select people. We, of course, aspired very, very high. And I can tell you that we have been very, very lucky that Shamika Raviji accepted our request and agreed to come to this college. She is not that easily available. I'm not saying that she is not going to come here, but she just doesn't have time. As you can imagine, in a country of 1.4 billion people, you have this work that she has to do in that committee every day, day and night. But we are, as I said, very, very fortunate, lucky and grateful to you that you have agreed to come to this college. This college was selected very carefully by the committee of which I was chairman with the ICSSR. As I said, 50 colleges have been selected. And we also, on our own, decided, in consultation with your great principal, extremely highly active and very motivating, inspiring principal, Professor Ramaji. We proposed to her, she said 2 or 3 subjects. And then we decided that this would be perhaps the best thing, because I can tell you, without money, nothing works. You would be surprised to know that for God knows for what reason, I had to work as the finance officer of Jawaharlal Nehru University for 2 years. And you can imagine my background, history, philosophy. And the Vice Chancellor said, because the finance officer left and some senior professor had to look after it. So I said, I don't know anything about it. What I did, of course, was I memorized the GFR. More or less, and then I would sign on bills of lakhs and crores. And when I did not understand, of course, you have lots of officials under the finance officer, joint finance officer, deputy finance officer. So I ask their opinion, and then I'll recite Hanuman Chalisa and sign it. In case something goes wrong, so I have somebody to blame. But in any case, this is what we did. I did. So I realized then that anything that I'm standing here speaking, if you speak in terms, if you understand in terms of money, then everything costs money. Which is why our ancient scriptures said, Vidyadhanam Sarvadhana Pradhanam. That is one. And then, wherever there is dhana, there is vidya. So you have knowledge which is supreme of all, but without money, even knowledge would not work. I'll just narrate a very small story because, I'm wavering, because I'm frightened and intimidated to say anything which, might make me sound like a fool in front of an intellectual like yours in finance and money matters. You pick up the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yagyavalkya is a great sage. He is having a conversation with his two wives. And that conversation to me appeared extremely interesting. Or anybody, if you read it, it's a very simple conversation, just like a couple discusses monthly finances. We do, I do, I'm sure everybody does. This, of course, is where Yagyavalkya says, okay, fine, I have established this wonderful school, university, where lots of students come. And those days, of course, the students will come with gifts, and that's how the household will work. Without that, you can't manage anything. You need food for hostel students and whatnot. And he said, I now am reached to the fourth stage of my life, and you guys are learned principals. You take over as the vice chancellor and rector and run this school. One of his wife, of course, catches hold of a corner of his dhoti. He said, hang on, where are you going? I'm making it up, this dhoti, etc. is not there in the Upanishad. I would simply assume that must be the scene. He said, where are you going? First you answer my question, which is relevant to us and to you and to the world, and then you can go. So what is it? He said, the objective of your school was to make people happy. Sukha. And people say sukha comes from knowledge. Ultimate knowledge, of course, gives you the ultimate sukha. But that is something which sounds very spiritual, at times eschatological. So, and then she puts a proposition before him. He said, if sukha were the ultimate goal of life, and money were the source of that sukha, which indeed it is, in many ways. If you get good, household, good car, good things, good whatever it is, and I should be discussing even the topical political discussions. The money somehow makes us run around, quite rightly it should. If I had the wealth of the entire universe, will I be happy? Sukhi bhavishyami. She says to Yagyavalkya. And the reply of Yagyavalkya is not dismissive. He acknowledges the importance of money. He says, yes, if you had the wealth of the entire universe, you will be as happy as very rich people. And this is where the dialogue somehow bifurcates. But if you really wanted to have a sukha, which you and I have been discussing and with the students, he said, Atma avare drishtabhyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. So even a person who is indulging or whose business it is to tell about the world beyond, the ultimate sukha, that is, if you look at yourself, look within. So it is the Atma self. How much money actually do I need? That is the question that Maitreyi and Gargi would put to him. What is the amount of money? But if you're in the business of running a country, you really don't stop anywhere. You just need money, money, money. Perhaps through fair means. That's the only aspect that perhaps could be put. So he says, if you really want to have the ultimate sukha, then there is beyond money. So in any case, what I'm trying to suggest to you is that sukha which you and I may not have seen it, I may aspire for it, I may not have it, but it is only next to that sukha is money, which is why it is extremely important. Therefore, I would end by saying, Sarve gunaha kanchanam ashrayante. All the qualities in here, not simply reside, in here in money. Thank you very much. I hope we'll enjoy listening to that.